Okay, Dave's horror movie tag. Yeah, he's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh man, 10 horror movie questions. Yeah, this will be an interesting one. Number 1, favorite Gore film. If you mean a film that has a lot of blood in it, I think that's what Gore is. I'd have to say Night of the Creeps. That was an older one, but it had a lot of gore in it. Favorite horror theme is number 2. I'd have to say typical hack and slash, even some of the classic Hollywood monsters, like from Universal Pictures. Like Dracula, that was a horror movie. That was actually my first exposure to horror, was Dracula with Bela Lugosi. So yeah, I like all kinds, even some that are a little toned down horror, like say the Monster Squad. That was one from when I was a kid. 3, favorite psychological horror film. Psycho. Because none has been able to pull off something like that. Not since then, in my opinion, anyway. Favorite shock film. Gee. Shock. Well, I don't know if this is a shock film per se, but when I first saw it, it shocked me a lot because of the creature effects. The creature from the Black Lagoon. Favorite film that scares you the most? I'd say The Invisible Man. Claude Rains really scared me when I was a kid. I don't know why, but probably because he wasn't seen in those movies by some miraculous reason. The last horror film you watched? Well, like I just said, The Monster Squad from 1987. It was like a homage to the classic Universal monsters. It had Dracula in it, Frankenstein, the Mummy, the Wolfman, all the classic ones. All-time favorite horror movie? I'd say all-time favorite would have to be Friday the 13th, and not just because today's the day either, but Jason Voorhees was something else. Favorite iconic horror character? I'd say Dracula, like the Bela Lugosi version. He was always one of my favorites. Most underrated horror film? I'd say House. That was another movie that was directed by Fred Decker, who directed The Monster Squad, but that was underrated and especially by the critics. They just trashed it, but I thought it was pretty good. And final question, worst horror film. It wasn't a horror film per se, but it had a lot of horror elements to it. Little Shop of Horrors. Although I did not mind the cameo by John Candy in that, but just the whole concept seemed strange to me for some reason. I'm not sure. I wasn't sure whether it was a musical or a horror film with the man-eating plant that was supposed to be in it. Anyhow, there's your horror tag answered, Dave, and I'll see you for the next one. Later on.